All right, welcome to the show, y'all. We got a lot to get to today. So in just a second, we have Trump going completely unhinged and coming unglued at the Charlie Kirk memorial service. He just gave a rally speech. He clearly didn't really care to be there. The thing he said before the speech was kind of wild. We'll talk about that too. Then we'll get to the American people are furious over Jimmy Kimmel's illegal firing. Of course, there was pressure from the FCC, and that's why ABC affiliates basically pulled the show off the air. And so now we know for sure there's a huge backlash over that. So we'll talk about that. We also have Trump's ex-lawyer comes out and tells the truth and shocks everybody. Wait until you hear the comparison that he makes when talking about Trump. You're not going to want to miss that. And then Kash Patel fails miserably to link Charlie Kirk shooter to any left-wing group. It's basically official now that we're at war with Venezuela, and nobody seems to be talking about it. We have the MAGA border czar, Tom Homan, who looks like a giant piece of ham. He was caught on video taking a $50,000 cash bribe, and I got more than that, so don't go anywhere. You guys know the drill. Everybody, please do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel. That helps out big time and costs you nothing. You could also support the show on Patreon. That also helps out. Remember, guys, I've never talked to an advertiser ever. I've never done an ad read. This show is funded by you guys. It's not funded by billionaires. It's not funded by PACs or foreign governments or anything like that. So thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. We literally could not do that without you. So if you'd like to help out, the link is below. Again, it means the world. Thank you again. You can also support Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack, and you can go sub to the Corn's World YouTube channel where we do live Kyle and Corn episodes. We do one, or we try to do one every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, and by the way, Lilith told me to plug our Discord. There is a Secular Talk Discord. I'm going to have that just below me in the lineup of links there. You can take a look if you want to join the Discord community. So, you know, all the hardcore Secular Talk enjoyers are part of that community, and if you'd like to join, you are more than welcome to do so. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into it here. So, yesterday we had Charlie Kirk's memorial. I believe it was in Arizona. And look, I'm just here to call balls and strikes. And the fact of the matter was, that thing was packed. There were a million, trillion, zillion people there. There were people lined up for hours beforehand. And here's the thing, though. Kind of disturbing because a memorial is supposed to be like a solemn, somber, reflective event. And this was literally anything but that. This was like a WWE rally. It was like a far-right rally mixed with WWE antics. That's what it was. And so, first of all, I should point out, before Trump even went there, I believe he was like about to hop onto the helicopter to go to the plane to go there. And he was like, you know, he said something along the lines of, yeah, you know, Charlie passing away, it's a moment for reflecting. It's a moment for whatever. And that went mega viral on Twitter because that's classic Trump. Like, he could barely get himself to pretend to care for 2 seconds. Meanwhile, this guy, Charlie Kirk, like dedicated his life to try to get Trump elected. So, Erica Kirk, the wife, of course, came out and gave a speech. Now, it is noteworthy, though. None of the siblings gave speeches. None of the parents gave speeches. Why that is, I'll let you guys speculate. But Erica Kirk goes out there and gives a speech. And this is her entrance, guys. Watch this. You know, the WWE, like, fireworks as you walk out. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Also, wearing white, like, isn't this supposed to be, like, shouldn't this be a somber event? Shouldn't everybody be wearing black? Isn't that, like, what's traditional for wakes and funerals and things of that nature? So wearing white, got these fireworks going off. A bunch of people pointed out online, like, hey, man, this seems wildly inappropriate, to which the response was, oh, it's okay because Charlie liked those things, so therefore it's okay to use it at his fucking, like, memorial thing. I don't know, man, kind of weird. Now, I'm not going to beat up on Erica Kirk because in her speech, the moment that people highlighted from her speech was that she said basically, look, I forgive the guy who did it, which is kind of a big thing, right? Like, that's a very level-headed, reasonable, altruistic approach where, you know, you're not looking for vengeance, you're not looking for revenge. Now, the speech she gave on TV before the memorial That was quite a different story. That sounded like, like Stephen Miller basically wrote that speech up. But this one here, she said effectively like, look, I forgive him, right? And this is what Jesus teaches us to do. So I'm not going to beat up too much on her. She's in, a horrible circumstance here. But look, virtually every other speaker treated this like a massive far-right rally. So here we go. Trump, he gives his speech, and then afterwards he's standing there with Erica Kirk, and he starts doing this fucking like goofy little dance thing. I mean, he doesn't have the ability to know what's appropriate and what's inappropriate at any given moment. He's fucking clueless. Watch this. What is this, bro? What is that? I don't know. That's bizarre. All right, more. So during his fucking, what's supposed to be like a eulogy of Charlie Kirk, he starts talking about the tariff thing, bro.
Just like Charlie and Erica made Turning Point hot, we are looking at a country that has the chance to attain a level like never before. Tariffs are making us rich again, richer than anybody ever thought was possible. And the only one challenging them are people that hate our country or foreign countries that are paying a price, because they did the same thing to us for years. They took advantage of us, but we're making money. We're becoming richer and richer, and we're taking care of our people better and better when we do that, and we can take care of other countries better and better. But
this is a fucking eulogy, bro. He's talking about the trade war.
We're doing unbelievably well. The tariffs have really been a hold. The election was big, but the tariffs, because of the election, came in. And remember, other nations do that to us. And Charlie understood that. He saw the money. He saw what was coming into our country, and we can use that for Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security.
He fucking cut all of those programs. Oh, my God. Again, eulogy. Charlie Kirk memorial event. And this is what he's doing.
All of these things that we fight so hard for, and that's exactly what's happening. The numbers are incredible.
All right, more. Again, at his eulogy, he says this.
And tomorrow we're going to have one of the biggest announcements, really medically, I think, in the history of our country. We're going to be doing it with Bobby and Oz and all of the professionals. I think you're going to find...
Look, even RFK, the look on RFK's face is like, hey, dog, why are you babbling about this? Ex-nay on the speech scale. Like, this is not acceptable. You're supposed to be giving a eulogy. Talk about Charlie. Talk about Turning Point USA. Talk about how important it was to your victory. Talk about, what made him so special or whatever. We got an amazing announcement tomorrow, medically. Some say the biggest announcement anybody's ever seen. Unbelievable.
I think we found an answer to autism. How about that? Autism tomorrow. We're going to be talking...
I think we found an answer to autism, is what the President of the United States said at Charlie Kirk's memorial service.
In the Oval Office in the White House about autism.
You're not going to be surprised to learn that the answer to autism that they found, they're now going to recommend that moms not take Tylenol when they're pregnant. And they're going to pretend like, oh, that's the cause of autism, full stop. If your mom pops a Tylenol when she's pregnant with you, you're more likely to have autism. Fucking laughable. Even if they ban moms from having Tylenol, when they're pregnant, you're not going to see a dip in the rate of autism? This shit is made up. Oh my God. Our country's a joke now, bro. Our country is a complete and utter joke. And why not, I told you guys this before too, but the age of the parents matters massively when it comes to your likelihood of autism. And they're not bringing up that. They're not actually on a fact-finding mission. They're just trying to find a thing that they could say, we figured it out, we got it. It's having a crank like RFK run American science is low-key one of the most dangerous things Trump did. And here he is babbling about finding an answer for autism, which, by the way, a decent percentage of it is probably just fucking genetic, right? But, he found an answer to autism that he announced at Charlie Kirk's memorial service. Oh, my God. This is the part which is probably the most disturbing, because Trump's going to do it in his little, jokey voice here, but he's fucking serious, and everybody should know that he's fucking serious when he says this. Listen.
He was a missionary with a noble spirit and a great, great purpose. He did not hate his opponents. He wanted the best for them. That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent. And I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent. Charlie's angry. Look at that. He's angry at me now.
President of the United States. President of the United States. No, I hate my opponents. I don't want what's best for them. So, in other words, like literally more than half of the country that you're supposed to represent, you hate. I remember when Mitt Romney made the 47% comment. Yeah, about 47% of the country, they're takers. They're not makers. They're not producers. And that was such a scandal. It probably was one of the main reasons his 2012 campaign tanked. Is because he basically said half the country are fucking useless and they're takers. They're not makers. And like they're good for nothing. Here's Trump saying, I hate my political opponents. He's a sitting president at a fucking eulogy. I hate half the country. I do. Fucking crickets, bro. Fucking crickets. This is low. Man, this is low. Again, he's supposed to be the president of the United States of America. Let me get this straight. The wife, who's now a widow, she lost her husband. She was able to go out there and say, I forgive the man who did it. Trump's out there, I hate all my opponents. They're the worst. I don't want what's best for them. I don't. Jesus Christ, what a petty, disgusting, grievance-filled, narcissistic, empty hole of a man that we're looking at here. All right, more. This dipshit, Don Jr., gets up there, and he starts talking, immediately makes it about himself. The apple really doesn't fall far from the tree, now does it? Immediately makes it about himself. Again, Charlie Kirk memorial service.
I'm not widely known for being a sentimental guy. Anyone who's seen me on social media knows I'm far more likely to crack a joke or get myself in trouble for posting some grossly inappropriate memes than I am to shed a tear. I know this because I've even gotten the call from that guy a couple times. You know, Don, you're getting a little aggressive on social media, Don. Relax.
Just astronomical levels of narcissism, man. But I haven't even gotten to the worst parts yet. This was the tone of the whole thing. So Stephen Miller came out and just flat out gave a speech that's from the Third Reich. Let's call it what it is. In fact, shout out to Jim Stewartson, who literally laid out there's parallels between Stephen Miller's speech and a speech made by Joseph Goebbels in 1932. All about how the storm is coming. That also, by the way, has links with QAnon, of course. The storm is coming, right? Stephen Miller goes out there and just gives an absolute horror show of a speech. We're the good guys, they're the bad guys, we're virtuous, they're nothing. We must defeat them no matter what. Like, this is, again, at a memorial service, this is what they're doing. They turned it into a far-right hate rally. Here we go, watch.
The storm whispers to the warrior that you cannot withstand my strength.
The storm.
And the warrior whispers back, I am the storm. Erica is the storm. We are the storm. And our enemies cannot comprehend our strength, our determination, our resolve, our passion. Our lineage and our legacy hails back to Athens, to Rome, to Philadelphia, to Monticello. Our ancestors built the cities. They produced the art and architecture. They built the industry. Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors, of women who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light. The light will defeat the dark. We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened.
You know, he talks like it's the left and it's the Democrats that just started multiple new wars. He talks and acts like it's the Democrats who just cut pediatric cancer research and Meals on Wheels. Like it's the Democrats who kicked 17 million people off Medicaid. He uses this grandiose language and this grand narrative of like, these are the good guys, these are the bad guys, this is pure good, this is pure evil, and we're going to defeat them, yes. Meanwhile, it's Trump and the Republicans and him that are building concentration camps, rounding up innocent people and putting them in there with no due process whatsoever. This, I mean, the whole speech is terrifying. It is terrifying.
Cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. There is zero ambiguity here. And you got Elon Musk tweeting like a cartoon villain where he's acting like, you know, basically borderline incitement to violence is what we've seen from so many of these people. And the message is clear. If you disagree with us, you're not really American. You don't really count. You're evil. You're terrible. And, you know, you get what you have coming to you. You get what you have coming to you. But I'll end on this note here. So Tucker gave a speech. And listen to what he says. He makes a comparison here. He compares Charlie Kirk to Jesus, but the undertones are also quite interesting. Listen.
Ultimately, he was a Christian evangelist. And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people. And they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about, what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem. It doesn't work that way.
So not only is it comparing Charlie Kirk to Jesus Christ, but also the not so subtle undertone there is, was he killed by the Jews? Was he killed by Israelis? Just asking questions. And then if he gets pressed on that, he'll retreat to, no, I wasn't saying that. I was just comparing Charlie to Jesus. And what, are you against me comparing Charlie to Jesus? He was a Christian evangelist. He was just going around telling the truth. How dare you besmirch Charlie's legacy like that? See what he did there? See what he did? Clever. But I will wrap this segment up by showing you this. And this is not a joke. This was one of the pictures at, you know, the memorial thing that they had outside. Somebody drew this picture of Charlie Kirk and left it there. And then they showed it on the news. They showed it on the news. Bruh. Did my boy dirty with that one, homie. Oh my God. What are we looking at here? Good googly moogly. Well, anyway, there you have it. It was wild to see, man. The purpose of it was very clear. The purpose of it was very clear. Virtually every speaker except the wife were basically calling for vengeance and their pound of flesh, and it was a hate rally for the other half of the country that doesn't agree. And it all topped off with Donald Trump doing a babbling campaign speech and forgetting where the fuck he is. This is the end of the saga here, and it was very disturbing to say the least. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.